Dating all the way back to ancient Egypt, historical documents and artifacts have depicted a curious condition causing deformities, atrophy, and varying degrees of paralysis. By the 20th century, the world suffered frequent outbreaks in which otherwise healthy people were unexplainably stricken by this mysterious condition. As scientists scrambled for answers, the disease was reaching epidemic proportions. In 1908, fear found a name in polio. By the time science declared its viral and contagious nature, word of poliomyelitis was spreading as fast as the virus itself. Polio targeted our most vulnerable, children under 5, spread by fecal oral person-to-person transmission, launching an attack on the nervous system, in some cases leading to paralysis in a matter of hours. By mid-century, polio caused widespread panic, and the 1940s and 50s would be remembered for the spread of polio in epic proportion. People were urged to avoid crowded areas. Public pools and movie theaters were closed in reaction to rising numbers of polio cases, and citizens lived in fear of a disease of which we knew very little. In the early 1950s, outbreaks across the region caused myriad cases. The USA alone reported 60,000 cases in 1952, 21,000 of which were paralytic. Hospitals overflowed with polio victims encased in iron lungs. Parents and children were separated during long quarantine periods. The time period was marred by images of leg braces, iron lungs, wheelchairs, and breathing mechanisms. Celebrities and politicians alike were afflicted, forcing the Americas to turn their attention to this disease.
On August 25, 2020, the African region was officially certified as wild poliovirus-free.
The WHO African region has finally been declared free of wild poliovirus.
It has taken 3 decades of efforts from local authorities, global organizations, and awareness campaigns by polio survivors to achieve this milestone. This feat was achieved by eradicating wild polio in Nigeria, which was the last African country to be declared free from wild polio. Polio is a virus that causes paralysis by attacking the nervous system and usually attacks children under the age of 5. Nigeria had also accounted for more than half of all global cases less than a decade ago. Wild polio can now only be found in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Though wild polio has been beaten, only the vaccine-derived poliovirus remains in Africa, with 177 cases being identified this year. Vaccine-derived polio is a rare form of the virus that mutates from the oral polio vaccine and can then spread to other under-immunized places. So how was polio eradicated? In short, it was the mass immunization program with the help of the oral vaccine that was introduced in 1961. Another prominent reason was Nelson Mandela's Kick Polio Out of Africa program, which mobilized millions of healthcare workers who went village to village to hand-deliver those vaccines. That year, polio had paralyzed more than 75,000 children across the continent. Since 1996, billions of oral polio vaccines have been provided, which prevented 1.8 million cases of wild poliovirus. Over the years, influential figures such as teachers, politicians, sports personalities all worked together to travel to remote communities to immunize children. World Health Organization has said that the threat of spreading polio still remains. For all types of polio to be eliminated, the solution lies in widespread vaccination efforts as well as surveillance to protect children from being paralyzed by the disease.